As you can see, I've already applied the net and I've sewn down her base. So now I'll just place the weft underneath her perimeter braid and I just sewed it in. This is kind of the same technique I would use if I did a sew-in with a ponytail, but she's not getting ponytail. She's getting very minimum hair left out, just her horseshoe. So that's what I'm doing here. Right there, I just double knotted it so I can make sure the weft is secure and doesn't loosen at any point in time. So I'm just continuing to sew the hair. And as you can see, it's just a very simple process. I'm just sewing it. There's quite a few videos on YouTube that show this process. So while I'm actually sewing the weft, sometimes I go over it a couple of times and I make a knot. Just to secure what I'm doing, so over time the hair doesn't loosen. Now I'm on my second row. As you see, the wefts have been sealed, so there should be no shedding, and I'm just going back over so I can fill in the spaces. So I'm going from ear to ear and sewing the weft down. I actually double wefted two of them. She has in her head an 18, a 20, no, a 20, an 18, and a 16. And actually for the 18, for the last row, the 18, I double wefted it. So pretty much it's like putting one end of the weft together with the other end. And so you get two pieces of hair instead of one. So that is all I'm doing here. Nothing too hard, nothing too difficult. At the beginning right here where I am, once you reach like the other side of the head, you want to make sure, if you're folding the wefts, which I did in this video, you want to make sure that that piece is very, very securely sewn down so there's no lumps or bumps. Because that's the big thing and why some people don't like doing double wefts, is because they feel like it's going to be bulky. But if you make sure that that part right there is tightly secured, you'll have no bulkiness. So now I'm just continuing to sew. I kind of chopped up this video a bit because I recorded the whole process, but some of it is redundant. So it's just, it wasn't a point, and this video would have been like 20 minutes long, if not longer, if I showed everything that I did. But yeah, I just continued to sew, and what I did is, I think I kind of chopped and screwed the video, so I installed this 20-inch on camera. Then I just finished the rest off camera until I got to the top of her head. As you can see, now I'm at the top of her head. She's actually natural, and you'll see a picture of her before picture at the end of this video, completely natural. And so I needed to make sure that I left out bare minimum. And on her leave out, I had already flat ironed it. And I used Paul Mitchell Skinny Serum, olive oil, heat protectant, and some Tresemme heat protectant. And I went over it with my iron flat iron, and it got pretty straight. I was actually very surprised at how straight it got. Normally at the end, what I've been starting to use, because I'm starting to get quite a few natural clients, is on the edges I use a tancho stick, which is somewhat of a wax stick, and it lays down the edges, so there's no need to put heat on your edges, and it lays flat. I'm probably going to do another video today for my install, and I'll show that process. And I'm just sewing, and I did a single weft at the top so it can be flat and lay a lot flatter. So that's there. And on this clip, it's showing what products I use when I flat ironed her hair. And I actually had already brushed out some of the hair, but I forgot to record. So this is just showing a little of it brushed out and then some of it not. And what I do is I go section by section, And I found that it's easier. Sometimes I can, if it's freshly conditioned and washed, sometimes I can just use my ion curling iron without having to flat iron the hair. It just go in. But because this hair is just straight installed, it had no product in it, nothing besides which I showed you in this clip. I had to make sure to flat iron it first to get a very sleek look with the curls. And she wanted big curls. She didn't want really defined curls, so that's what we gave her there because she was going to sleep that night. So as you see, some of it is already straightened, and it straightens pretty well. I probably could have gotten it a little straighter if I wanted to, but I knew I was going to curl over it, so it wasn't that serious. So as you can see, my iron, it gets pretty hot. It gets up to 450. I do not use 450 on my hair. Like my natural hair, it would burn it the hell off. But I do tend to use it on the hair, the weave, only because I know my hair can sustain the hair, my hair extensions. Some hair cannot, so it's not necessary for you to go that hot. But it was late. I had to go pick up Chloe, and I need to get through that process really quickly. So I did it kind of hot. As you can see, it's slick, it's straight, and we're ready to go. She has in 3 full bundles. This is actually her first time wearing 3 full bundles. She did not need 3 bundles because she had an 18, a 20, and a 20, an 18, and a 16. She didn't need 3 bundles. But I wanted to give her a really full look and something that she wasn't used to, and I think it turned out wonderful. But because of those lengths, I did have to double the wefts as I said before, because it wasn't going to all fit. As you can see right there, I used a razor that I got from a beauty supply store or Sally's or something, and I'm just razoring the front to give her some layers. I did not razor the back. I just did something very simple and razored the front. When you're giving yourself layers, you want to do it at an angle so it's not choppy. And I probably will, when it's time for her to tighten up the hair, I probably will put a couple of layers in the back just to make it flow a little better, and so she doesn't have to do too much with her hair. All she has to do is bump it like once or twice a week, and then let the rest of the time let it just turn into a wave and kind of just flow. Now, after I razor it, I normally go over it with like a flat iron to kind of bump it, or with a curling iron so I can see how it falls. And I did that process kind of off camera, but that's what I normally do to make sure it's exactly how I want it. And as you see here, I'm using an ion curling iron, and I'm curling the hair to get the look that, the desired look that I'm going for. So, how do you like?
I love it. It's pretty. Yeah. It's all nice and bouncy. I like a totally different person. So, yeah.